Hey everybody, Tiffany from Quick and Dirty Gardens here, and today we're going to be harvesting mason bee cocoons. Now the reason we're going to harvest these cocoons is because creating a monoculture of mason bees in your garden can attract predators and pests. So we're going to clean out the good cocoons and throw away the bad stuff and store the cocoons over winter so they'll be ready to put out in the spring. Mason bees are incredible pollinators. They pollinate far more thoroughly than honeybees do. Mason bees are covered in a nice fuzzy fur, and when they belly flop onto the flowers, they gather pollen, and then the next flower they go to, they drop off that pollen. Whereas honeybees actually collect the pollen, they get it wet, and they pack it onto their thighs into their little pollen pockets. And when they travel from flower to flower, they don't spread as much pollen. So mason bees are incredible pollinators, and they're super friendly bees. They don't sting. Well, if you really get them riled up, they might sting, but apparently it's just equivalent to the sting of a mosquito. And they don't have any of the poison in them that would create anaphylactic shock. So they're great for families or people who have allergies to bees. You'll be just fine having these mason bees in your yard. Harvesting mason bees is super easy. You just need a few things. A little container to catch your cocoons so they don't roll off the table. I'm going to use a screwdriver to get them out of their little wood pallets, and then just a colander so we can rinse them off. So let's get started. All right, so I've got my mason bees stored in this bag. I took them out of the garden in July and I put them in this bag and I stored them in my cool, dark garage. And now let's take them out, see what's going on. So here they are. This is my wood block that I have out in my garden all year, and then I've just put it in this mesh bag in hopes of keeping pests and predators out. Just gonna take it out and see what we've got going here. We're just gonna take the straps off. This is one of the best ways to keep mason bees are these wood blocks. They're reusable and they're easy to clean, and you can just use them year after year. So we're gonna take off the straps here, and this is my favorite part because every time you open another layer, it's like Christmas to see what's going on in here. All right, first layer, bees, yay! This is so exciting. So yeah, there's not a lot of bees in the first layer, but that's okay. What we've got here is it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 little cocoons, and they're separated by mud packs. And then this stuff covering them, well, that's bee poop. We're gonna clean that off, don't worry. All right, yay, success a little bit. We got some bees on that first layer. Before I remove these, let's open another layer just to see what's going on here. Here we go. Oh yeah, that's a pretty good one. Here you can have pretty good view of the different cells, pretty perfectly separated out. Ooh, and here we have a pollen ball. So this is what the mother bee has left for her larva to eat, but unfortunately this larva didn't make it, so the pollen ball is still there. And that is just pure pollen. I tasted it once and it tastes like you're licking a dandelion. It was pretty incredible. See what else we've got. I feel it. I feel something in there. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Solid row. That's a good mama bee right there. Straight down through it. Mason bee cocoons are a lot tougher than you think, and this might look startling, but don't worry, they're gonna be just fine. I'm gonna take my screwdriver here and I'm just gonna push them all out. Make sure you get both sides and you're pushing everything out. And these mason bee cocoons are a lot tougher than they look. Don't worry about squishing them or damaging them at all. They'll be just fine with everything that we're doing today. They're really strong little guys. All right, so now we gotta get down and dirty, and we have to separate the mud from the cocoons. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to just put it in a colander and kind of shift it about. So let's do this. Just gonna dump everything in there. Make a big mess of my counter. Actually, let's put this here. And I'm gonna start by just giving them a shake. Just to do an initial release of any kind of mud or poop. If you have like a gold pan sieve, those are really good. But this works to get the initial layer off. And then we're gonna take it outside and hose them off. Oh yeah, that works great. All right, so we're back inside. We've got our cleaned cocoons, and don't worry about spraying them off with water. They are a tight, tight, tight little silky cocoon, so the water doesn't get in there and they're totally fine. But now that we've rinsed off all the poop and mud, we're gonna dry them off. So I'm just gonna lay them out onto a towel here. And I'm just gonna let them dry for probably a couple hours. During this drying phase, you definitely want to keep them outside where it's cold, because the longer these cocoons are in the warmth of your home, the more likely they are to wake up, and they will. So if you don't have a good fan or anything to dry them off quickly, take them outside where it's cold, let them dry off there, and then we'll store them after that. And this is also a really good time to investigate your cocoons and make sure there's ones that have holes in them. And this guy is empty. It looks like the mono wasps probably got to him, so this cocoon is actually empty. Gonna get rid of that one, but the rest of them look really, really good, except this guy. So there's a wee little hole in there, and that's where the wasp larva got in, or the wasp laid its egg in with the bee larva. And it's possible that that larva even hatched and then came out that big hole, but there's no more bee inside there. All right, we're gonna get these guys in the refrigerator ASAP so they don't wake up, and this is how I store my mason bees. Take your toilet paper roll, and we're gonna staple up one side of it, just like that, and then we're gonna pop our little mason bees right in there. Just like that, after they've dried. And we're gonna close up the other side. And then you wanna write mason bees on here so you know what it is, and then put them in your refrigerator, either in the cheese drawer or the vegetable crisper drawer. Just put them in the back of the drawer and leave them there until spring. Until you start to see maybe dandelions blooming in your yard, or if you have fruit trees or blueberry bushes maybe that are blooming, but they're perfect for those super early season bloomers. They are incredible pollinators, even when it's cold and rainy in the spring. So into the fridge they go until it's time for them to come out and live their new life in 2019. So I gotta give a little shout out to Crown Bees. That's where I get all of my mason bee supplies. They make these beautiful reusable houses. They have an incredibly educational website, and they're super, super helpful and knowledgeable in the mason bee world. So crownbees.com, definitely check them out, and they have the best mason bee supplies around. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this mason bee tutorial. If you have any questions, please let me know. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. Please follow me on Instagram, Quick and Dirty Gardens, and have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye guys. And huge shout out to my favorite brand of women's workwear, Dovetail. They make these great jeans. I love them to death. This is one of my favorite parts, is I can put my hands right in the pocket, no problem. I love it. So Dovetail jeans, definitely check them out. There's a link in my bio. You can get 10% off. So check out Dovetail, women's workwear for women, made by women. Yes, happening.